Sorry, guy, I'm a bit late. The dog was barking. Was on a barking fit. I was waiting for him to stop a bit. So hello everybody, how are you doing? I hope you are fine on this. What is it today? Thursday. So yeah, I did change my streaming day, as you can see now. That's because I didn't want to step on the hangar, because I like watching hangar as well, and also I didn't want people to have to choose between watching hangar or me. Today I wanted to talk about, like the title say, your game through your player's eyes. And what does that mean? It's a cryptic title. What I mean is, like, the way that people talk about your game, the people that retell the game after you played it, does says a lot about your game. If sometimes I hear people talk about their game, and they talk about the game like they would talk about a baseball game. They're gonna say like, it's like, when you hear people talk about, oh, the bases were full and this guy came to the bat and he made a home run, and then like everybody, like, it's very mechanical stuff. And sometimes, like, when you hear people talk about their game and they're telling you stuff like, oh, we fought 6 hill giant and I rolled a 20 and I only had 5 hit point left, those kind of thing that are very mechanical. It's you engaging with them on a like not as deep level as you could. If your player tell, like, you say, oh, tell me about your game, and they say, oh, there was like this slaver ring, or we came across this village and people in there were possessed or mind control, whatever, and then you have to make a choice about, do we kill them because they're just like they're attacking us, but it's not, like that. It's you a different level there. Or like, oh, we're dealing with this Inquisition, and we're going after all the witches and wizard, and witches and wizard were a real threat. Most of them were evil, but what you do with the one that are good, is it like worth, you engaging them on a different level. And it's the same thing when you ask somebody like, who his character is. If the answer is something like, oh, it's an elf ranger, it's a human fighter, or a dwarven wizard, it's who's that? What is that? It's different than if you say, like, if you're who's your character, and it's like, oh, is this old veteran that was forced out of retirement to go back. There's a story there. Or, I play this guy was like frozen for 1,000 years, and now he's coming back, and the world changed, and he's trying to adapt. Or an amnesiac that doesn't know who he was. So it's not like the strobe that, oh, I have no identity. He know who he was, but he got no memory. So he doesn't feel an emotional connection to his past. So now he's going out in the world to create new memory. Those are interesting characters. Those are, oh, there's a story being told there. Elf Ranger, Human Fighter, Dwarven Wizard, doesn't, like, that's not somebody. That's like that's a race and a class. So I think that, and I need to say one thing as well. I say, like, when the people, like, talk back about your game, it tells you about the type of game you're running. But let's be fair too. If people talk bad about your game, already you're doing something well. So I don't want, like, a trash on people or anything. But it depends on the level of engagement you want to, like, what level you want to hit them. Let's say hi to people in the chat. Hello, Justin, and Ongar, and Shadow. Well, it's all like a Wednesday crew, eh? Crafting Gamer is here as well. Nice seeing you. So yeah, if you want to go, like, hit your player on a more, like, there's this meme going around. You might have seen, if you're on Twitter, on the internet, or stuff like that, that if you, like, it's like this girl, like, that asks her boyfriend, like, oh, can you explain me 40K or Dune? I've seen it with both. And then the next panel is like the guy, like, ignoring this whole fucking wall of text. That's what you want from your game, like, people say, oh, what, like people ask you, like, and even, like, because, like, when they're gonna talk about the tone of the game, oh, hello, Black Lodge, nice seeing you. Even when they talk about the tone of the game, like, if you ask somebody, how was the game last night, if they answer you something, oh, it was fun, or even if they're excited about it, which is still good, or they say, like, oh, we had this big combat for like we were in combat for like 6 hours, or we almost had a TPK. Those kind of thing like that. If that's what they're telling you, they're very like it's for them like they're in a game. They're engaged a lot with the game aspect of the game. They're not engaged as much with the role playing aspect of the game. And if you ask them how was the game last night, and the first thing they say something like, "Man, it was fucking dark," or "Oh, we finally accomplished X goal that we're working toward," or maybe they're gonna say like something like, "Man, it fucking sucked. Like one of our retainer died." Doesn't mean they didn't have fun. It means they were emotionally involved with it. The retainer died. It sucked. It's not just like a resource that they lost. They had a connection to the character. You can tell that. Like I think that's if you manage to get that, it's really you're really gonna hit your player on a much deeper level, and it's gonna leave like a much more long-lasting impression. They're gonna remember the game for more than just like the number they roll on the dice, the type of monster they fought. And that's the thing too. When people do a lot of like a monster of the week type of game, those games can be fun. You're there in the moment, but those games are interchangeable. They're not the game that leave you a long-lasting impression. They're not the type of game, because I do think that role-playing game can make an impact on your life, on who you are. They can like make you think about something that you never really thought about, like think about something a little deeper. You kind of like live through it. If you just do the monster of the week type of game, you're skipping on all that. Let's see what the chat's saying. Justin said, "Lurk, the runt orc that decided to team up with some human because it was a better deal than hanging out as a slave to lizardmen." You see, already you got a story there. I don't even know what the class of the character is. I know he's an orc. I know he got like some motivation. Also, never spell his name the same way twice intentionally. The game was okay. We saved the world side again. Yeah, exactly. Like that's another thing. Like I say monster of the week, but it's the same thing as well. Like if you always go for the epic level, like save the world and stuff like that, at some point it just like it loses its flavor. You kind of become like when when there's a smell lingering around, and at some point you don't smell it anymore. You get like nose blind. It's the same thing with gaming. Like if you're always in the same tone, doing the same thing, in the moment you're gonna be there. You're gonna have like the excitement of rolling dice and stuff like that, but you're not gonna be connected deeper than that. And it's the same thing when you have like your character. Have your character have motivation more than just leveling up. What your character is trying to accomplish, like leveling up you could be like a player goal more than a character goal. And of course, like there's different game for different people. So you think about like if you had like those maybe that's not a thing anymore, but we have to have those water cooler conversation, like. And if you go around the water cooler, different people are going to talk about different things. Like the sports ball fan is going to talk about the game last night, and that's often what they're going to talk about. And some people, like even with a sports ball, some people are going to be very like they sometimes they try to make some beef about team. That's one way to try to engage people emotionally, like because like a lot of like the sports or it reach out to something tribal. So you're gonna hate that team, you're gonna love that team and stuff like that. That's a way already to put like more emotional engagement in the game. But when they're gonna talk about the game, they're gonna talk about like, oh, this guy did this, scored that point, threw the ball far, did a big tackle, made a head, succeeded in his corner, whatever. I'm not a sport guy, really. Well, I am, but not this kind of sport. And if you go on the water cooler and you talk about a TV show or something that you're very into, what are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about the event, you're going to talk about the narrative, you're going to talk about like the plot twist and stuff like that. It engages you on a different level. I think like role-playing game are better at that level. That's my opinion. But yeah, different people might want, like maybe people like don't care about that. I think that's weird because like they always come back to the question of why you're not just playing a board game at that point. But Shadow say this Topic is weird for me as I remove all of my player eyes a decade ago. Well, then it's even easier to look through them because you can like just align them with your. Do those questions? They won't need them. Where they were doing? Where they're doing? Well, if role playing game, you just say, well, then you need to get the braille dice. But other than that, it's just like theater of the mind stuff. So that's fine. They haven't left my basement in 30 years. That's the best way to make sure you have like a consistent group. Shadow, wait a minute. The innocuous 8 typos. Yeah, he's putting like number in his It's taco night, baby. Yeah, that's supposed to be the Tuesday, no, not Thursday. It's Taco Tuesday. You got it wrong. The other day, the T day. Oh, one thing like you can know like because like yeah, when people retell your game, but even like if you when you do a campaign and then you meet a session after session, you can it's always a good idea to ask your player like to recap what happened last time. Make sure, and that's a good way, like pay attention to it, listen to what they say, listen to them, listen what they, because that's what they're going to tell you at what level they engage, and maybe that's the right time to push them a little more in the direction you want. Like if you want to get them engaged a little deeper, like have them forge memory, show something that they're gonna hook to, and it's also like the time to see what they did hook to, what was marking for them. So that's a very good habit to do. That's about what I wanted to talk about today. I got a few more things I want to talk about that are not related to this topic, but this is like for the topic. That's what I wanted to cover. Unless you have questions, stuff like that. I'm not racist. I eat taco all the time. Ongar say, I agree with you. Usually when I do taco, I'm gonna like cook taco meat and I'm gonna eat that for a fucking week. So it's like it's not a taco day. It's like a taco night. It's like a taco week. That's how I roll. Because I don't like cooking for myself. So I cook once in the week and then I eat that whole thing all week. My keyboard is kind of wonky with number or row right above the letter. Yeah, it's probably a fun thing. Eh? So every time your player rolls the dice, they can get their food pellet. The next design talk, that's one thing I want to talk about, is going to be this Saturday at 1500 EDT, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Time for American. And the guest is going to be Alexander Macris from Autark, which made Adventurer Conqueror King and at Ascendant. Sorry, I just sent Ascendant. That's gonna be a fucking great talk. I'm very excited about it. I think it's gonna be very interesting. Macris have a very different take than most of the guests I had before on game design. It comes from a much more like a mechanical and like a working in the mechanics, thinking about the math behind them. So I think it's gonna be like very interesting. So don't miss out. This Saturday, so that can be in 2 days, at 1500 EDT, 3 p.m. Eastern Time from American. That's going to be a great time. So that's one thing I want to talk about. And you had a comment that you missed out. Is that about Buffy? I just like skipped it. If it was something else, I don't know. I need to check that up. I don't know. Like I'm not filtering anything. I need to look in the YouTube option sometime. Fooled my player all undead. Today you'll live by running a level campaign for 25 years. I use Kinesis keyboard because Emacs destroy my pinky. Oh fuck, man! I cannot believe you fucking use Emac, man. Me unlearn neuropathy. Yeah. Oh no. Well, I guess maybe then I did miss a comment. Oh, they make electronic dice that speak the number you just generated after hitting the button. Yeah. That would be a solution as well for the blind player. Probably even better than a braille dice, to be honest. The other thing I want to talk about, which is off topic and it's gonna kind of come out of nowhere, there's a Kickstarter going on by A.G. Picket, and again I can present there. Where is it there? And it's for those silicone battle map with X grid on one side and or square or X. I think you can have like both sides, but I think it's a very fucking sorry for the dog. I think it's a very cool project. There's 12 days left to the project, and it's not funded yet. It's more than halfway, like about 2/3, not quite, but I think it's if you play with miniature, if you play on a table, you play at a grid on the battle map, you should fucking check that out. I think it's a good project. Like this is gonna be a battle map and it's the second time that he does it. He did like another version previous, and so he shipped, so he know what he's doing. The price is very reasonable. I think you should check this out. This is gonna be like a battle map that's gonna last you a long time. It's gonna be very resistant. Like AG didn't ask me to do that. I just think the project is cool. I'd like to see it succeed. He did made a production run before, but like a lot of people I guess didn't get onto it. Like I said, if you're playing with battle map, you should definitely look that up because like silicone it's a very interesting material. It's gonna last a long time. It's gonna resist to a lot of stuff. People spill coke on it. It's very easy to watch. So if you're the type of people that play in person, play with miniature, play with battle map, definitely check that out. I put a link in the description below because, like I said, I'd like to see this project succeed. And AJ is a fucking good guy, and the price is pretty reasonable. So really, go check that out. He used to do I think he doesn't do the transparent anymore, but he got like white or parchment color, X or square. So yeah, check that out. You can even cook cookies on that fucking battle map because it's heat resistant and doesn't stick. So if you need to justify it to your wife, you can do that too. Make it like two function thing. Anyway, guys, that's about what I wanted to talk about today. It's gonna be a short stream. Just a little topic I wanted to cover about. I'm making a mess. Little topic I wanted to cover about listening to the way your player talk back about the game. If you don't just listen to what they say, listen to what they say, but listen to how they say it, and listen to the what they highlight about the game, because that is gonna inform you. It's gonna tell you if you're at the right spot with your game, what you should push a little more on, what you try to, and also about the type of player you have. There's some player that will never really engage. They're just there to roll dice. They're just there to they're gamer. They're a role player. So they're just there for the game, just there to roll dice, eat Cheetos, and have fun. If that's the type of game you like as well, that's fine. But if you want to engage them a little more, I think that's something that you should consider. Shadows, sorry, I got distracted by that, but Shadow said my tablet is my go-to for most thing. I should actually use my new laptop. But if somebody spills some drink on your tablet, on your laptop, you're shit out of luck. Those battle map, they're like $46 Canadian. So that's pretty reasonable. Like, so for something that is they're like, what is it, like 84 centimeter? How much is that? So they're pretty big, because 84 like that's a 45 centimeter ruler. So 1.5 times that. And so, what is it, like $46 Canadian? That would be $32 American. So they're not, like I said, it's very reasonably priced. Hey, it's silicone. If your wife really complain about it, you can roll the map up and replace her with it. Yes. If you want to make a fifi out of it, yeah. Oh, I meant for typing, not gaming. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, for gaming, like, you should look those out, man. I think they're great. 2.5 feet roughly. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good size, for a battle map. But I don't know why I'm doing that. It's just like, well, I know, like, it's just because I want to see the project succeed, and I like AG, so check that out. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up now. Thank you also for people that watch later on. Tell me about your game down below in the comments. Tell me about, like, how do you what like, tell me about a game that marked you, and I'll judge you about all the way that you describe it back. I'll give you a good star, a thumbs up, or a thumb down. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good day. See you. And don't miss out on a Saturday.